What's up YouTube, Carn221 here, and welcome to my part 2 of the Company of Heroes news. Today was actually a big day. Well, I hope this is an April's Fool joke. Um, Breaking news on Company of Heroes Western Armies. Basically, Relic today announced, which actually makes me kind of suspicious now. Didn't think about that. Relic announced the Company of Heroes 2, the Western Front Armies, officially at EGX Res 2014. So I had to take away, I did some points here. They showed alpha footage, so I want to just talk a little about that. One, they showed the Russians and the United States fighting the Germans for a town. That's something new. So we're not going to be seeing these guys. It looks like, at least from the alpha, these are just my interpretations. It could be wrong in a couple months. Well, 2 months. It's supposed to come out in June. So one, it looked like we're fighting together. We do see a T-34 and an M4 Sherman try to take out some kind of look like in a German, kind of like a what's the word for it? Almost like a support gun that just launched a big shot at the end. Anyway, I'll link to the video so you guys can watch it also. There are paratroopers in this. We saw U.S. paratroopers landing with their M4 and M1. Why am I saying M4 all the time? We saw them landing with their carbines and M1 Grands. So we definitely saw paratroopers. So they're back in the series. It looked like they were U.S. Rangers. They, however, they looked like Army Rangers, or it was kind of weird. They looked like they were almost like winter gear U.S. soldiers. So that could just talk a little bit about how they're on the same map and how they could be showing a little bit of the winter aspect there. Now, it also looked like the grenades, and they showed some grenades going back and forth. It looked slightly bigger than the explosion we have in Company of Heroes 2 now. So slightly bigger. They seem more devastating. Seem to take a lot more units' health away. There's also close air support. The air support, it seems now, is actually flying onto the battlefield, and it looks like it's more targeted. They showed a bomber, well, not like a fighter bomber, coming in and blowing up a house that had Germans in it. So it seemed like it came more on screen rather than, just kind of like we see, the plane briefly fly over and drop some bombs, like a Stuka bombing run or something, Company of Heroes 2. It seemed like it was a little bit slower than that, kind of came a little bit lower. So we might see some more aircraft on the screen. So a lot of the questions they received about 5 questions or so. One guy was talking about Dawn of War. That's not helping us. One guy mentioned a lot about Company of Heroes Online, which was supposedly a failure of like a free-to-play Company of Heroes, and we're gonna anyway. But he was talking about the German economy. Now the new German is called the Ober. Let's see, I got it right here. They're the Ober Commando West. Remember I was talking about Panzer Elite? He said they have a unique economy. They have systems and base buildings that are different, and how they take over territories is different. So I'm a little thinking like the Krenninkrat or whatever you called it from Gun of Heroes 1, where it's like that guy in the little kind of motorcycle that could capture territories faster. It almost seems like some kind of Panzer Elite kind of system. So we know now that the Ober Commandos West have a different economy, right from the words of the guys who are representing Relic there. Someone talked about an airfield and possible aircraft that you can control, and they said they are working on new air mechanics, like I was talking about a little bit earlier, with the airplanes being able to swoop in a little bit earlier and stay on the screen longer. However, they're just going to be supporting units. They're focusing more on the soldiers and tanks on the battlefield. However, they did talk about how they're developing more anti-air units. In the Company of Heroes 1, we saw like the Flak 8, not Flak 8, so we saw those around the Panzer Elite. They had those kind of like machine gun nests that weren't machine gun that could take down airplanes. So there might be introducing some more anti-aircraft units. The sounds, the Thompsons sounded completely different. It looks like they got a lot of new sounds for the guns, which makes sense, right? You want to improve what you did on your work. So now, after seeing that alpha gameplay, I'm excited for this new Company of Heroes. I was excited before. I'm always happy when they add new factions to a game that is getting some. It's not like stale or anything, but we've been playing the factions, 2 factions for a year now. It's kind of nice. They're going to add some new ones here. If I was there, I would have asked them, how about the British here? Any kind of North African front, maybe another possible expansion. The cool thing is, though, this is standalone, just like Sega did for, well, actually, Sega owns Relic now. Just like Sega did for Fall of the Samurai, it's an expansion pack, so you can get them both for one of them, the United States or the Oberkommando West, the German Oberkommando West. That's $13. You can get them both for $19. So I'm definitely gonna get them both for $19. I'm gonna be trying to get access to the beta, and then as soon as it's open, I will gladly share more details with you guys, and we'll keep going through the development, and the multiplayer series will continue, guys. I'm kind of Been working on Company of Heroes for a long time, since the beta last year. Around this time, I actually been doing it for a full year. I gotta say, multiplayer games, I never spend like a full year on it, and I've done it on Company of Heroes. I'm absolutely loving it, and I'm really looking forward to this new stuff. So I'm just gonna double check to make sure there wasn't anything else. It's also on Steam now. I'll leave a link to that. It just says available in June. So it's not like you're going to be able to like purchase it today or anything. So it's going to be available in June, hopefully earlier June than mid-June. But either way, I'll be out of school then, and we'll see how it works. Let's see, it says 8 stunning new maps for Company of Heroes and 23 existing Company of Heroes 2 maps, as well as over 1,000 community maps. You know, people make maps in the workshop. They're really trying to focus on every battle telling a story. I guess you can kind of see a little bit of that, like, you know, hard fighting in between the troops and stuff, but overall, I'm really excited, and I think we're going to really enjoy this. It's kind of like the original Company of Heroes being brought back with the better graphics and hopefully some more balances. One thing they didn't mention I thought was kind of interesting, I took a screenshot of this, it should pop up on your screen right about now, is they talked about their servers. How they'd improved the servers from the beginning, and they added the new battle servers in February, and how that's just significantly decreased these out of sync and other disconnects between the server and the computers. So I think it's great they're moving forward. They also point out that they did 18 different patches or updates to Company of Heroes 2, while in the original Company of Heroes they only did 8 in this time span. So they did 8 patches for the original Company of Heroes 2 within about a year, and they've done, I'm sorry, they did 9 within the original amount. They did 9 for the Company of Heroes 1 for the first year about, and then now they've done 18. So they're really trying to balance these guys out. I also have a interesting picture here of how they tried to balance the factions out. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Feel free to kind of debate about that in the comments. Let's try not to get a hate war going on between the Wehrmacht and the Soviets going back and forth about which one you guys hate or not hate. So hopefully with some more of these new kind of factions will help us out. I really don't think there's an April Fool's thing, but if they did, they got me. But I mean, it's by Eurogamer, and it looked completely legitimate, and Rezzed is a legitimate thing. And those are 2 Relic guys that showed us alpha footage. So it makes sense. They made the announcement a couple days ago, but to officially announce it sounds like a good thing. And they can't do it at E3 because E3 is in June after the game's been announced. So I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to leave a link to the video I watched in the description, to the Steam page with the new thing, and also to the my channel, obviously, and the subscribe button. So feel free to subscribe to stay up to date. Keep in mind, I'm going to be doing some beta stuff when it's open. Probably, if they let me in. They'll probably let me in. And I'll keep up with the multiplayer aspect. I got an hour-long gameplay I'm looking forward to showing you guys. I want to make sure it's not like too boring, but it's a very good struggle, and how it's kind of like they kind of really balance the game a little bit. Some parts are not so balanced, but you know, they're still balancing it. But it's a very long, intense battle where it goes back and forth. That you guys might want to enjoy it. So that will be coming to you guys soon. Anyway, leave a like if you enjoyed, and feel free. We had some great discussions in the last video for Company of Heroes 2, this Western Front Armies, about your own opinions, and I really enjoyed that feedback from you guys. So keep it up, and feel free to watch the alpha gameplay and leave a comment back on this video. Anyway, Car221 signing off.